Previously on Crusader King Stories.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A long time no see. Welcome back to a new episode of Crusader King Stories. In the last episode, I tried my best with intrigue play in China. And this time, it's all about the Roman Hell Run. I think that was the worst experience I ever had in Crusader Kings 3. And you will see what I mean later in the video. But this story is also under a different star. Big update for anyone who wants to stay up to date, chat with us, give me feedback and video ideas. Also for my newly discovered mods for CK3, join the community via the link in the video description. Like many times before, we start our today's journey in the character creation. I created my Invictiani character, the last still alive Roman character in the world, and he is destined to form the Roman Empire once again. This story starts in Rome. As the son of a famous knight and mercenary in Rome, Nero had a bright future ahead. Really surprised he was to see that after the death of his father, one day, coming out of his tent, the majority of his father's army is gone. Abandoned by his own people, he has to make a name for himself. In the year 868 AD, the Frankian Empire fell apart into three parts. This will also influence the Invictiani dynasty. The first years were all about fulfilling contracts and making a name for myself once again. I got hired as a knight multiple times and fulfilled all of my contracts successfully. In one or two of these contracts, I even found a couple of new knights and followers for my own project. As an adventurer, I gain access to swear loyalty to one independent ruler once at a time and gain insane bonuses from that. We're really unlucky that directly after I swear loyalty to my oathholder, the King of Italy died shortly after and the German took over Italy. And 5 years after the beginning of my journey, I gained my player heir and first son. My father once was a big fan of the chariot horse races. That's why I got invited by the Emperor of the Byzantine Empire to participate in one by myself. Placed my bet on my favorite, just 50 gold, I'm out of gold here. But unluckily, I lost all of my gold. But at least I gained some influence and made some friends. Unfortunately, the joy didn't last long. I died just 10 years after my journey began. My son must carry on what I have started. Let the suffering begin. First, when I was old enough, I was not challenged by a man, I was challenged by a girl in a duel and got defeated by her. That must have been the first omen. Coming of age, I got the poet trait and introduced my first man-at-arms, the cataphracts, to my army. And because I have no contracts available, I moved my camp from Rome to Sardinia and gained a new oathholder, the King of Sardinia. I fulfilled multiple contracts and built up my tent. A couple of them failed, unfortunately, but I got also hired as mercenary and done my job as best as possible with my little army. I've won my first war, not as a leader but as a participant, and fought in a holy war against the Arabs at first. Gained the victory in my mercenary war and supported my Sardinian oathholder king. We successfully defeated him a second time in battle, and I've won my first holy war against the Muslims. Seems like word have crossed and I got hired as mercenaries multiple times from now on. I set sail and saw Constantinople with my own eyes, but that was the only good thing in this journey here. I had to retreat because the enemy's army was way too big. Contract after contract, my name became famous, even to the high authorities for Christianity, the Pope. In the year 909 it was time for the first crusade against the Muslims. Dies Vult. And the crusade lasted for 6 years in total, and I also increased my health state with whole of a body trait. And after the crusade, back to regular routines, I fulfilled my next contract. I recognized with help of my chat that I need bigger army to gain war contribution. I re-upped my ranks and offered help as a mercenary all over Europe. And it was successful indeed. I leaded my first battles and helped multiple rulers and fought their battles. With war contribution I gained insane rewards. I received insane bonus of 15 prestige. I moved my camp. This time to Venice. In Venice as well, I fulfilled multiple contracts, but not only the honorful ones, let's say, I also did some bandit contracts. Because of all my contracts, I have a big roll of patrons, and one even wanted to sponsor me with an armored foot regiment. Very kind, thank you. By the way, I have a new oath holder as well, the Serene Doge of Venice. I'm fighting his wars as well. But my children, that's another topic. I only have a girl as an heir now, and that's a big problem. So I decided to spread out my possibility to gain children, let's say. Because my woman is 63 and she's not able to get any children anymore. So I successfully gained my soulmate. My former follower now holds my heir, hopefully. My bandit contract was also successful, but it brings advantages and disadvantages at the same time. My Serene Dodge gave me an insane contract for the king level, which gives me nearly 300 gold. Crazy. Just to transport an artifact from one point to the other. And indeed I was successful to gain my legitimate bastard and now my player heir. With the transport of the artifact I was out of contracts and moved my camp once again. This time I moved it to Germany. And new contracts, let's go. It was also time for a new oath holder, the King of Germany now. I'm in his territory, so it's a good opportunity to make friends and connections with the Germans. It doesn't take long and the German was simultaneously in 4 wars, so I had to help him out as the Aufbounded. The Duke gave me lodging, offered me land in East Francia, but I decided to decline because I want to form the Roman Empire. I want to start with territory in Italy if possible. Seems like another crusade is around the corner. I supported my German oath holder as best as I could, and it was time for another crusade against Hungary. This time I also have the army size to do my part. Another victorious crusade, and this time I gain my share. I gain a big amount of gold, prestige and piety, and most importantly my daughter now holds the new formed Kingdom of Hungary in Christian hands. 9 years after I traveled to Germany, I now wanted to finally settle down in the former Roman Empire, using the resources I had acquired during the Crusade. To found the holding, I still needed the required level of devotion, so I go for 2 pilgrimages, the first to Rome, I know really well already, and I also activated my first Blood Dynasty perk tree. Let's go. And the second pilgrimage was to Cologne, a different city, but all of the 2 pilgrimages were successful, and then I had enough piety and level of devotion to found my own holding. Let's grab the shovels. The city of Grovetto was supposed to be just the beginning. As always, fate threw a wrench in my plans. I died in the age of 81 and the Grovetto project was in Jeopardy. "18 years have passed since I took office and nothing really noteworthy has happened, except for one thing. I had first moved to Venice again. I had only good memories. And then the good thing happened. I decided to attack Rome. I allied Hungary, and so I have the military power to stand ground against the Kingdom of Italy. Mainly because of the support of my aunt, I was able to equally balance out the army numbers and move to Rome to siege the capital. After the successful siege of Rome, a new opponent arrived, the Pope, but it was no problem at all. The victory was assured for us. From sword to scepter, my new home was also the home of my ancestors. Rome is back to our hands. I'm unfortunately not independent. I have a liege now, but that's okay, that's fine. I'm a veteran adventurer now as well, and because of that reduced my man-at-arms maintenance by 50%, which is insane. Back to where we started. I decided to change the flag of Rome to my own. I didn't want to stop here. I had claims to claim. First, against the Kingdom of Sardinia, my former oath holder. I successfully defeated them in battle, and not only in battle, I won the first war as the holder of Rome and spread out my influence. It looks good, right? What can go wrong? I increased the control in my counties as well and diverged from my former Cisalpine culture as well and formed the Roman culture. Or the Romaner culture, because the Roman culture already existed. The Romaner divergence happened and I have now the opportunity to select the new innovations and traditions of the new Rome.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
My father, Duke Pagano, got killed on open street, but I look even better than my father. great diplomacy character. My first ever county building was a stable. I think it was the first time for me as well that I built a stable for economy buildings, but okay. I want to continue as well what my father started and fight against the Sardinians. But after this humiliating loss, I was in not the best state in this battle, in this war. I still have a really small army, so every battle is legit a coin flip. If I'm able to defeat my enemy, even though he's outnumbering me highly. But in the end I was actually able to win my war with some support of my dynasty members. Without them, it wouldn't even be possible. And I was also able to form a coalition with the Pope. Great opportunity for me. And he accepted that's a great ally for me. I was able to defeat the Sardinians a second time and gained second county I hold, the county of Fermo. Peace was unfortunately not for too long. Some Croatian duke wants to fight over Fermo, and I also opened another front with a war over my home, over the county of Rome as well. In the mountains next to Rome, I fought my battles because I had advantage, and because I'm not the dynasty head anymore, most likely it's Hungary, I cannot decide which dynasty perks I choose. But at least for now, I would select the same. The first war is over, so only the war over the county of Rome is now raging. It looks good, because I have the coalition with the Pope. Otherwise it would look really terrible on my side. My player area, by the way, is beautiful and dull. It's manageable, I guess. I decided after the battle ended to go for the agrarian tradition, which most importantly gives me better economy stats. Yo, what's going on here? A war over the Kingdom of Italy? 12 years ago I was actually able to request a claim from the Pope. So I have a claim onto the whole Kingdom of Italy now. Because I can call the Pope to war and the Hungarians. I have equal numbers to the kingdom level. Looks like the war declaration came just in time because I died shortly after, and now my son has to lead our forces into battle. Speaking of a battle, here's our first battle. Even with the support of my allies, I had to suffer a valiant defeat. To fill up my ranks again, I had to hire a couple of mercenaries. With those mercenaries, it was time for round 2. I was lucky and catched a solo army of the Italians. Over 1,000 men got destroyed. Second battle, I won as well. And then against the Kingdom of Italy as well. a third battle. And a smaller one as well. My troops have reached Milano and it was time to siege the capital of the Italians. The siege over the capital of Milano was a really quick one. Just a couple of really brave troops stand their ground, or at least try to do it. My wife is pregnant with my heir. A second war got declared on me, so I had to finish the Italian one quick to not open up a two-front war. And I was indeed able to do so in the mountains of Italy, in the Alps. With the defeat of the Italians, I took over the Kingdom of Italy. A big step to the Roman Empire. I gained access as well to the royal court and now even have dynasty banners. When you see all of that, what can go wrong, right? That was my mood in this situation as well. And it changed also quickly. But at first I was also able to win another war, the Independence War as well. And then my big problem started. The factions. Holy Jesus, the factions were a problem in this journey. And it started all here. Maybe I was too fast with my expansions. I didn't completely control my regions, but there was no possibility to control these kingdom entirely. I just completely gained control over the whole kingdom in one bite, so it was really tough to get control over these regions, because when factions arise, these territories also suffer from huge control penalties, so I don't know a single way to get rid of these factions in this current situation here. I had to surrender as well to other kingdoms that attacked me. It was an easy choice because the duchy I gave away, the holder hated me nevertheless, so I just gave it away. The faction is still raging and no way in hell I'm able to win this. And here unfortunately I lost a little bit of footage. 30 years have passed, I lost my kingdom title, could expected it, and I died and my player heir was my daughter. I lost my army, I lost my territories, and I'm an adventurer again now. My daughter then died as well because of consumption just 1 year later. And her son is now the new leader of the Invictiani camp. And he is a bastard, spindly, and inbreed. If these are not excellent conditions for a comeback, I don't know. While my training / education, the Norwegian heir to the kingdom throne offered me land in England. Let's hear my thoughts and my stream chat thoughts on that. Okay, Liam says we should take it. Monsieur Fontaine, what's your opinion? Should we go for it? Then you could ally England and then you have a strong ally. Okay, then we go for it. Okay, that's our new capital now. I wasn't sure, but the stream chat was really clear. They decided to go for the land in England. I think as well it was the best opportunity we had, and we have now a new playground. Really unlucky that the liege got changed directly because the Norwegian queen got defeated. So I'm now not Norwegian, I am Scottish. We have an enormous problem here. I'm inbreed and spindly, as you know. Because of that, my chance of children is close to 0. Thank God I have a Dark Ages decision I can take, but I need to be 39 years old to forge an heir. Basically adopt a bastard. If I die before reaching 39, the game is over. I'm in a do or die situation here. I supported, meanwhile, my liege. He had a couple of wars to fight, and I gained a Hestilute trade by that. Uh-oh. Infirm trade, the worst possible out of these three. Let's go. I'm 23 and my health state looks rough already. I have to go 16 more years to forge an heir. That will be a hell run. At least my wife is my soulmate now. And I found the opportunity to enumerate. So I have the chance to impregnate her. The chance actually is 35%. That's by far the best chance I have. Oh boy, I look terrible. I played a main role in a horror movie. The first attempt was not successful, but the second for 30%. My wife is pregnant. Thank God my run is saved. Ah, let's go. I even hired a wet nurse to make GG. After the miscarriage, I tried it 3 more times. No luck. And then my wife is too old. She's 36 and there is no possibility anymore. I have 0 children, no player heir. CK3 wants to see me fall. 29% murder attempt. Will the run end? Okay, let's go. I survived the first one. And the second one. 47%. I survived 2 murder attempts. I don't know how that was possible. I was able to reach 40 years of age and successfully forge an heir. The run is safe at last. Holy. My new son is a bastard, of course, as well. But as Zone Invictiani will end what I started. England is not our home. Italy and Rome it is. Nothing really happened in the first years of my reign, so I skipped it for you. But my lineage is now saved. My player heir, my daughter, Lupine, got born. My wife is my lover. Because of that, my son and heir, Junor, is born, and another son, Papia. Guys, you really need to make it easy for me with your names. I want to name everybody. By the way, I named all of my children like subscribers of mine, so shout out to all of you guys. And back to the real business. Another crusade. This crusade was not so successful, but it didn't need to be. I was part of the crusade and earned my position among the Christians. Even so well that the Pope offered me a favor. I knew instantly what I want when the opportunity was there. I again have a claim to the Kingdom of Italy. By the way, Italy is still ruled by one of my dynasty. It's a cadet branch, but still, an Invictiani. With the King of England and faith, I set sail. My destination, Italy. Seems like we have a little drive-by. The King of England had war with France. I had to support him, otherwise he wouldn't help me, so we have to finish France quick, so we can deal with the real enemy. It was easier than I thought, it took just a couple of weeks. Defeated France, and back to where we were. I directly sieged, still the capital of Milano by the way. Nothing changed here. Everything feels the same. Just like the feeling when you come home. First sieges were really easy. And then the true Italian army arrived. I have to apologize here. The resolution wasn't the best in this fight, so I had to cut it down. Sorry. Still, back to the story. I was able to defeat Italy and gained my kingdom back. It feels like a déjà vu here. My vassals hate me. Most importantly, my powerful vassals hate me. This time I hold the County of Milano and the capital, and even formed the Duchy of Lombardy. I even tried to bribe my powerful vassals, but I was too late. The uprising already started. Unfortunately, I can't expect any help from England because they are very war hungry and fighting wars on their own. I am alone again against an overwhelming force. They have 4,000 troops, I have not even 1,000. Doesn't look good here. I had zero chance against the faction. I lost my kingdom title once again. The faction's just tearing me down. It's impossible for me to fight them. I saved some money at least and built the Brescia Duomo, a really cool special building I now hold. But then my new liege tried to revoke even my Lombardy title. I declined because I knew I could change allegiance in the civil war because she is a woman, and in the medieval time nobody likes a queen as their liege. I didn't want to depose her. If I keep her in charge, I would have the support of the powerful vassals, and the next in line was a really dreadful strong character. So for once I go for white peace even though I won the war. Still, the vassals absolutely don't care. Another faction against my claimant of the Lombardy Duchy. And again, no chance for me. They are just too strong. I lost my Lombardy title and I'm stuck with only one county and one duchy title now. My court is empty, I have a new liege, and my health state is absolutely terrible. I had legit only one opportunity now. As long as I have my claim onto the kingdom, I can declare the war, and because she's a queen still, I can change the allegiance of the vassals. They help me out. That's the good thing at least. For the, I don't know, 5th time, I sieged the capital of Milano and actually was really lucky for once. I captured the Queen of Italy and ended the war really quickly. History is doomed to repeat itself. I have a claim, she has a claim. We are fighting over the kingdom again and again. Vassals, they change sides. And then, while I was at war, something we need to talk about happened. But let's hear the stream perspective on that. I prefer not to speak. Ach du Scheiße, Alter. Okay. Oh. I could kill myself. I saw nothing. Hey, anybody here? You guys saw nothing. Okay, nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened. I had a little bit of a lag. Yeah, well, we all agreed that I had a lag and I killed myself. I know, it's cheating somehow, but you need to understand me. It's forth and back every time the same. Dark Ages, tough modlist. I know. It will not happen again, I promise. I will win my share fair and square, but for once I had a bit time to breathe. I built my army. I saved you the forth and back for another 2 years here. I finally won my war against the faction, And with that win, I was in a position to revoke titles of important, powerful vassals, who all got on my nerves. I moved my capital realm back to where it should be. You can say peace at last. Seems like Italy is united. I inherited the Venice War. I had to fight against Venice here. Really unlucky that I was not able to defeat them because they had a really huge army. It's sad to give away land, but that's the price to pay actually. In the meantime, when I fought Venice, a crusade was ongoing, but I had no chance to participate because I had my own wars to fight again. This time I was well prepared. I had good economy and a good standing army actually this time. Fighting my battle next to my capital with great bonuses. We got defeated in the crusade, and because I didn't participate, the Pope hated me and I got excommunicated. And excommunicated always means the Christian characters hate me. So I had to spend my gold even more on the army. I introduced a new tradition, the court architects. Basically gives me more development. While I had my inner conflicts, the world changed a little bit. Hellas grew really big. The Venice army counted nearly 4,000 men and primogeniture was discovered. I just needed to influence a couple of vassals so I can enact the primogeniture law. Looks like primogeniture coming in clutch because I died. King Jason is the new king with the first genius trait ever. The first official act as King Jason changed the primogeniture law. Now all of my children will have a clear inheritance. Venice lost their territory to Bavaria. I had the opportunity to offer vassalage in my mainland. Easy peasy, but my new enemy now seems to be Bavaria. I continued my work and focused on economy and army. Really lucky coincidences that I was able to offer a couple of vassalages and gained free land from that. Somehow my vassal here decided to fight me. The Byzantines have 10,000 men, they're crazy rich, but that's something for later. I have my own battle. Whenever I lead the army personally, there is a chance for an event to fight the battle 1v1 with the enemy general. This time I was luckily able to defeat him and gained Aspiring Blade Master and Novice Duelist traits from that. Over the past few years I have built an army worthy of Italy and have finally been able to assert my sovereignty over my neighbors. biggest battle in Italian history was a really close call. I only won because of my allies here. But thanks to them I was able to get Genoa and a couple of really good counties. My luck ended when King Jason died in the age of only 34 after 20 years of reign. His son, King Fontaine, only 14 years old, inherited the kingdom in turmoil. Peasants' uprisings, factions, neighbor wars. But there is a big difference this time. I have an army that is able to make a difference. I was able to defeat the first peasant uprising. And then I fought a battle in the Alps. Really lucky here that I was able to capture the general, and the general was also the duke who led the faction. So that makes 2. Then I had a really big fight and a second one. I decided to surrender the first one because it was just one small piece of land. My power sharing is also only neutral because I'm still a child. At least because I surrendered the second war, I was able to win the last, and with that ended my uprising streak. Among all my neighbors, I'm considered the weakest one. I still offered a couple of vassalages and grew my realm in this way. A gunpowder manufacturer also was built in my capital, so I gained access to the handgunners for the first time. And finally, after years and years, you didn't see that, but it took me, I don't know, 50 years or something to finally form a hybrid culture with a Byzantine-related culture. Of course, I chose all the unique Byzantine culture traditions and had now a new Byzantine/Italian culture. All the money I had left, I spent onto my army, of course. The only way to increase my power in Europe now in this current state is through military power. And also through inheritance, Africa somehow gained land in Italy. The honorable duelist tradition gives me access to better knights and also increases the prowess of all characters with this tradition. Really crazy that the vassalage thing was such a big thing for the mid-game here in the Roman playthrough. All of the big realms fell apart at one point, and because of that I was able to offer vassalages for free. Finally you can call my army a real army, nearly maxed out. After the complete vassalage process, I hold significant land in Croatia and Serbia, and that will also prove useful later when I wanted to unite Italy, but more on that later. I had my long-awaited war against Venice because they still hold a little piece of land in the Italian mainland. When that was settled, I completely modernized and maxed out my army. Now I have the best army I could ever recruit, actually. But is it enough for the major powers in Europe and the Byzantine Empire, for example? After economy and army, the next priority is now by the sword. That gives me the access to more than one holy war in the kingdom level per lifetime. That's extremely important because I'm right now as well on a timer. I have about 200 years left to completely form the Roman Empire, and I'm still in the beginning of that process. My new army seems extremely powerful because my first war against the Byzantines worked out better than I expected even, and I had another bill to pay with the Sardinians. I only have about 18,000 troops available, but with allies and dynasty members and stuff, that grew up to 33,000 in this battle. I even had another battle as a general, and even though I've won this battle, I lost the battle in total. So I had to fill up my ranks again with order knights and mercenaries, and it was really successful because then my army consisted of nearly 60,000 men, and I was able to defeat the Sardinian army and connected the North and South Italy together. We make progress, finally. And to form the Roman Empire, I need to defeat the Byzantine Empire, totally. It was easier than I thought because the Byzantine Empire is a mere shadow of themselves. And as well, I had the opportunity to introduce another tradition, the recognition of talent for better knights. It was time. Achilles did his best, but he died in the age of 65. The end of this game is coming closer and closer. I have about 100 years left to form the Roman Empire. I had to change my approach to get access to the Unify Italy decision, and through that form the Roman Empire. I need a culture with an Italian heritage. Time for a new hybrid culture. Romanitas. Okay, let's go for Romanitas. Sounds funny. Roman red is crimson, which is on the lower end of the color picker. Serious? That is the same color? What the fuck? There's a tiny difference, I would say. Okay. And crimson, is that okay? Is that okay? Let it go, Ankh. They wouldn't pick the same color on the opposite ends of the spectrum. For me, it's the same color. After the crimson red incident I had with my chat, I formed my hybrid culture. I also get a couple of claims I needed for the Roman territory. Then I checked out the Arabian Empire, and their army size is incredible. By the way, for decades I hadn't had the position to select the dynasty perks, and Hungary just maxed out 4 trees alone. I decided to give the North African campaign against the Arabian Empire a shot. He was distracted with inner realm wars. It might be my best chance to weaken his positions. Claims are always a welcome gift. And then the first major battle appeared. At first looked like the Arabian Empire outnumbered me highly, but my commander skill and my highly trained army defeated them in battle. And with the major battle won, I also defeated him entirely and won the war. I have influence now in North Africa. I completely control, let's say 99% control Italy. I also wanted to press my claims, so I attacked now Bohemia. It just switched. And it took me 10 years, over 10 years in total even, to win this war. The Bohemians were a really annoying enemy, but at last I've won. And nearly control all of Italy now. To unify Italy completely. I had to defeat the Pope as well, unfortunately. If it wouldn't be the case, I would have left him alone. I need to control Rome as well, and a little bit of land in the Alps. Was easier than I thought. Just a quick little battle and some sieges, and the battle was won. After the successful siege of Innsbruck, only one piece of Bavarian land is missing for the fulfillment of the unified Italy decision. Our 2 armies engaged in battle, and it was really lucky for another time that I captured the general and won the war. Finally, after only 500 years, I unified Italy and finally had access to the Roman Empire decision. I needed quite some territory to fulfill this decision. Mainly Byzantine territory and Arabian / North African territory. To get this territory, I go for a holy war over the Kingdom of Egypt. This kingdom spreads out from the newly conquered territory of Italia in today's Algeria up to Syrian land near Jerusalem. I landed near Cairo and tried my best to siege the first holdings. The first battle took place near Cairo, but my army is at this point way too strong. I accumulated over 80,000 troops. But still, I am mortal, and I died in the age of 75 because of wounds in battle. My father died in this campaign, but I am able to enforce my demands and gain the Sultanate of Egypt. Now we have left only Thessalonica, Athens, Antiochia, and Constantinople. That might be possible in 70 years. And this coincidence came in clutch. I don't know if you've seen it, the Byzantine territory of the Arabian Empire got independent. Most likely because I destroyed the Arabian leadership with the war. And so all of the land I need is now independent and really weak. Speaking of weakness, Lorenzo II is infirm, 60 years old, and will not survive long enough to form the Roman hegemony, most likely. My power sharing is another problem. I don't have the support of my vassals anymore. These ungrateful little... no. Okay, oh well, I fought my war against Athens, and out of nowhere, I don't know where they have 50,000 troops, but okay. And what is going on here? What? Hey, I've never... Hey, what the f is going on? I have an alliance with him and he's attacking me? How is that even possible? Once I repositioned my troops and chose a slightly less challenging battle, the match was more evenly balanced, but I still had the problem that I had multiple fronts now. Okay, f CK3 for today, f it, I cannot do it. Let's play one more round AoE. That's too much for me today. After the very understandable crash out, one round Age of Empires, and with new motivation, I wanted to get rid of the mess. At first I had to move back to Italy, so to not lose my empire title. I had to destroy a couple of armies and have to win some sieges to get enough percentage. Then I sailed back to Athens to get rid of this war as fast as possible. Unluckily I died as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing to worry about. I've won a couple of sieges, gained enough percentage to win this war and close this front, and then set sail again with my whole army to Italy again and do the same again. I am pretty sure I lost a bit of my sanity in this journey. When you really want to scare me in real life, you just need to shout at me, "Factions!" And I have PTSD. These factions in this game, they were horrible. Thank to God, I defeated my, I don't know, my uncle now, my brother, whatever, and I gained the white piece. That's not the win I was hoping for, but back to where we left off. We have some land to conquer. Thessalonica is missing, so I attacked them first, and sometimes you just have to celebrate something. I have defeated my uprisings, I'm on a good way to the Roman Empire, time for a little party.
Wir haben nicht genügend Holz, my lord.
It must have looked something like this, in my imagination at least. I would bet that these guys in the medieval age, they had better raves than we have in our period. Just some random underground techno raves and some random castle. Italy is in a party mood. No enemy is able to stand between me and my goal to form the Roman hegemony. With the conquest of Assyria, or the land I needed in Syria, Antiochia, I have nearly all the land I need for the Roman Empire. So we are pretty close. But we only have 50 years left, as you can see, 404 AD, and I still need my level of fame. The Arabian Empire is not too powerful anymore. That was quite easy. And after also winning against Thessalonica again, I hold everything except the Duchy of Constantinople. And I need the necessary level of fame as well. Because of the Dynasty perk, that makes +1 man-at-arms regiment. That is really helpful for the last missing steps. I maxed out my army once again. Constantinople is right within our grasp. The Crusade is typical interference. The Crusade was also the reason why my war got invalidated, so I have to wait until the Crusade is over. But okay, we are good. We still have 30 years left. That's fine, that's fine. Time for our second chance.
Round 2. Fight.
But this time, we're successful. I had a couple of minor battles, and I got catched out of guard actually with my allies. I split my army in two. I had one battle with my main army, and my reinforcements are slowly arriving. They had the second battle. I lost my first battle with the reinforcements, but my main army was able to clear them up. Their army was in shambles. The way is free now. Free to Constantinople.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my dad. I want to thank everybody that stayed true. It's just a special moment for me. After years and years suffering, up and downs, finally managed to do it. Took a long time though. I'm actually happy right now. I'm so happy that it finally ends. Oh. Sheesh. Woohoo. Oh boy. Yeah, we actually pulled it off. I was not sure if we can do it in the mid game with Dark Ages, Ultra Modded CK3, and I can tell you I cut it out so much bullshit. So many annoying situations, even more factions. This video took me a really long time. I had so many problems during the process. Please, if you've watched to this point, please subscribe and leave a like.